Welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Guelph Royals in town, and what we thought was going to be a thunderstormy kind of afternoon, but it's clearing up quite nicely for baseball. Angel Castro is the starting pitcher on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, and his ERA just keeps getting better and better. Dropped at 2 points in his last start against the Barrie Baycats. That was part of a 20-4 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs back on July the 13th. Malik Collymore leads things off for the Guelph Royals and fouls the first pitch off. Collymore leading the Guelph Royals in batting average this season. Makes a pitch over the inside corner now. 0-2 on Malik Collymore. A 377 batting average. He's got some speed on the base paths, too. Swiped 13 bags this year. Good start for Angel Castro, trying to put away Malik Collymore quickly. The 0-2 is up and in. 1-2. Collymore hits a ball on the ground. A nice stop by John Solazzo. Long throw to first base onto Aiden McCaskey, who's getting a start over there in the absence of the usual third baseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs. John Solazzo had a tough hop and then threw over to Aiden McCaskey. No Jordan Castaldo in the lineup tonight, so Aiden McCaskey is filling in over there at first base. John Solazzo at third, Jose Vinicio at shortstop, Dan Mara at second. And Justin Mara behind the plate catching Angel Castro. Grant Tamani, Connor Lewis, and Greg Carrington are the outfielders for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's left to right. Ethan Hammond hits a ground ball to shortstop. There's a nice hop, or a difficult hop, I should say, for Jose Vinicio, and he throws out Ethan Hammond, who came into this game hitting 373. So a couple nice plays by the left side of the infield to start off this game, and it brings up Sean Riley for the Guelph Royals. Anytime you have any kind of significant amount of rain, it can make some tough hops on the infield for those infielders. And although the infield is pretty wet right now at Dominico Field, seems like those balls have had tough hops and got on the infielder surprisingly quickly. Sean Riley hits a ground ball. That's a can of corn for Dan Mara, who throws on to first base. Angel Castro, less than 10 pitches to get into the first inning, which has been a problem inning for him in the past, but not this afternoon. The Toronto Maple Leafs and Guelph Royals still tied at 0. It's Toronto Maple Leafs baseball, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. We'll be right back in the bottom of the first inning. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Toronto Maple Leafs starting lineup brought to you by Finney Real Estate, as Jose Vinicio start things off for the Maple Leafs and facing Ben Braun, who's getting his first start with the Guelph Royals since coming over from the Hamilton Cardinals. It was a trade deadline acquisition by the Guelph Royals, and they got a good pitcher. He's had some good seasons with the Hamilton Cardinals. The pitch is over the outside corner, strike one to Jose Vinicio. But the last couple of starts for Ben Braun have been a little bit rough. He gave up 9 runs on June 16th to the Barrie Baycats. That was part of an 11-4 loss, but he was with the Hamilton Cardinals at that time. Vinicio fouls it off left side. And then last start in 3 innings against the London Majors, gave up 5 runs on 7 hits, but only 3 of those were earned. So the ERA sitting at 5.70 right now for Ben Braun. It's a lefty on the mound facing the switch hitter Jose Vinicio, who takes way outside, now 1-2. Angel Castro got through the top of the first inning on just 7 pitches against 3 guys who are hitting over 300 for the Guelph Royals: Malik Collymore, Ethan Hammond, and Sean Riley. Here's the ball hit on the ground by Jose Vinicio to the shortstop. A throw on to first base is in time. Good play by Brendan LaRue over there at shortstop. Darius Barlas is playing third base for the Guelph Royals this evening. And then Brendan LaRue, Kyle Cush, and Intersano gets the start over there at first base. Brendan Keys behind the plate, catching Ben Braun. This pitch is over the inside corner. That was a breaking ball to Justin Mara, strike one. Josh Garton is in left field, Ethan Hammond in center, and then Malik Collymore is over in right. Justin Mara hits a ball in the air, and that one is absolutely hammered and gone over the right field wall. Mara knew it right away, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are out in front 1-0. Boy, you look down for just a second, and Justin Mara has crushed one onto the Little League diamond out there in right field. That's a great start for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Justin Mara has been rolling the last month or so, and that continues to start off this game and brings up John Solazzo. Doesn't usually hit in the 3-hole, but is tonight. Everyone getting bumped up in the lineup. Jordan Castaldo not playing tonight. Aiden McCaskey is on deck. 1-0 Toronto Maple Leafs on a big fly from Justin Mara. Now here's a ball hit to center field. This one is way back and gone. John Solazzo goes back-to-back with Justin Mara on back-to-back pitches. And the Maple Leafs have Ben Braun's number early here on this Sunday afternoon. That one was to dead center for John Solazzo. And he got all of it too. Not even a moonshot. It was almost on the line out there to center. That's home run number 4 for John Solazzo, another guy who's been rolling just like Justin Mara over the last month. As this one's in the dirt to Aiden McCaskey. All of a sudden, the Toronto Maple Leafs are out 2-0 on back-to-back home runs by the 2 and 3 hitters. And Braun has just got 1 out so far. Breaking ball inside corner to Aiden McCaskey. That's a pitch that Braun has been able to locate with ease so far in this first inning. Ball ripped down the line, foul. Aiden McCaskey was way out in front of a breaking ball. Breaking ball, this one's way inside and in the dirt now, 2-2 to Aiden McCaskey. McCaskey comes into this game hitting .299, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 4-hole is a good spot for him. One of the team leaders and league leaders in RBIs in the Inter-County Baseball League. 6 home runs, 5 doubles. And McCaskey is 29 for 97 this season. Now McCaskey hits one to left field. This one's dropping, and it's not able to be caught by Josh Garton as he took it off the chest on the fly. And that's a ball that seemed catchable, but was hit pretty hard by Aiden McCaskey. And now there's 1 on with 1 out and already 2 in on back-to-back home runs for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it brings up Connor Lewis. That hit for Aiden McCaskey extends his hit streak, and here's a ball hit down the line. That one by Connor Lewis. Aiden McCaskey will round second, head for third, and cruising into second base with a stand-up double is Connor Lewis using that great speed. And now the Toronto Maple Leafs have a chance to have a big inning in the first as Dan Mara steps to the plate. Dan Mara has really upped that batting average of late, hitting .318 this 2022 IBL season. Hits in his last 4 games. Here's a little dribbler. This one's going to score a run. A throw onto first base is high, but taken by Justin Intersano, and the Toronto Maple Leafs get another one here in this first inning. It's 3-0 over the Guelph Royals. So Dan Mara gets the job done. That's RBI number 13 on the season for him. And now the left fielder, Grant Tamani, comes up with that runner at third base and 2 outs. Connor Lewis is the runner. Grant Tamani has good speed. Braun's pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Interesting to note as well, lefties have been difficult for this lefty-heavy Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. Here's a ball hit to center field. It's dropping and coming in and making a diving catch out there in center field is Ethan Hammond to save the Guelph Royals a run. But the Toronto Maple Leafs get 3 runs in the first inning, capped off by a couple back-to-back homers by John Solazzo, and before that, Justin Mara, and lead 3-0 over the Guelph Royals. We head to the top of the second inning. It's Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs TV. Josh Garton is going to lead things off as he flies one here to left field. It's relatively short. Jose Vinicio is going out, calling off the third baseman, John Solazzo, and makes the catch. And that was a good play by the speedy Jose Vinicio. And there's one away for a guy that has a ton of power in Josh Garton, who's hit a home run in half the games that he's played this season, although he hasn't played a ton of games. Justin Interessano steps to the plate. Four up, four down so far for Angel Castro, and Interessano takes over the outside corner, strike one. Interessano didn't play in 2022 or 2021, but he's back with the Guelph Royals. And to be fair, the Guelph Royals didn't play either in 2021. That was the COVID season that forced them to shut down baseball operations. Got into 15 games and 53 at-bats. Interessano is hitting .302 and a swing and a miss, strike three. Angel Castro gets him with a hard fastball upstairs, and there's two away. Ten pitches so far for Angel Castro to get 5 outs in this baseball game, and maybe it's too early to tell, but it feels like Angel Castro might have found some good stuff on the mound this afternoon. First pitch is just outside. Batter is Darius Barlas, hitting .233 this season in 86 at-bats. Now Barlas fouls it off 1-1. Ball low. Barlas last played on July 22nd, a couple days ago against the Brantford Red Sox. That was part of a 10-4 win for the Guelph Royals, who have won their last 5 games. Barlas hits one in the air, left field line. This one's pretty well hit, but foul. 2-2 now on Darius Barlas. He was 1 for 5 in that game. Drove in a run as well. Barlas has driven in 15 runs this season. Struck out 18 times in 68 at-bats and hitting .233. Now he hits one on the ground. Jose Vinicio snags it up the middle. A soft throw over to first base on Aiden McCaskey, and Jose Vinicio with style helps Angel Castro get out of another 1-2-3 inning, and a guy has thrown 15 pitches over 2 innings. What a start for Angel Castro. The Maple Leafs look to add to the already 3-0 lead. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Well, here comes Luca Boscareno getting his first bat of the evening. It's a good first inning, or afternoon, I guess I should say. It's a good first inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs, scoring 3 runs on back-to-back home runs by John Solazzo. and Justin Mara. For Justin Mara, that was home run number 9, which ties him for second in the Inter-County Baseball League. Pitch is inside now, 2-0 to Luca Boscareno. Boscareno hitting .222 this season. All fouled off, 2-1. Greg Carrington is on deck, and then back to the top of the order with Jose Vinicio. Braun's pitch, fouled off once again by Boscareno, who's chased a couple of high fastballs in this at-bat. Infield and outfield played straight away, respecting the ability of Boscareno to hit it either way. This one's way outside, 3-2 from Ben Braun. Although Braun has given up 3 runs in this baseball game so far, he's only throwing 22 pitches. Pitch is inside, ball 4. That won't help the pitch count, as Luca Boscareno heads down to first base with a leadoff walk. This is the 6th and final meeting between the Guelph Royals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Jose Vinicio takes outside. Luca Boscareno taking a healthy lead over there at first base. Or excuse me, they actually do have one more game. That's in Guelph on August 13th. Throw over to first. Luca Boscareno dives back in. Toronto Maple Leafs won the last meeting 4-3, and before that, they were downed by the Guelph Royals 13-12. Overall in the season, the Guelph Royals and Toronto Maple Leafs have a record of 2-2 against each other. Pitch way outside, 2-0 to Jose Vinicio. Jose Vinicio rocks one to center field, going back and diving and not able to make the catch at Ethan Hammond. Jose Vinicio heads for second base. He'll stop there. Here comes Luca Boscareno. There's a play at the plate, but the throw is way wide. And now Jose Vinicio is going to head to third base. There was a serious, or Jose Vinicio scores. Or sorry, check that. That was Greg Carrington who hit that ball to center field. Man, I mix those two up a lot. Just with except when Jose Vinicio is batting left-handed. That really, really helps out. So Greg Carrington hits the double to center field. He heads to third base on the throwing error. And there was a serious opportunity to get Luca Boscareno at home plate with nobody out. But the throw from the shortstop LaRue was about halfway up the line. Jose Vinicio gets hit on the foot. He's going to head down to first base, or maybe not. Vinicio stays at home plate, so I guess that's just ball 1. Jose Vinicio grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Now he hits one to center field. This one's pretty high, but is it enough to score the run? Greg Carrington tags and he's coming home. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's not in time. Greg Carrington scores, and the Toronto Maple Leafs go up 5-0. So it wasn't a double for Jose Vinicio, but he does cash in an RBI. That's now the 18th RBI this season for Jose Vinicio. One of the highest on the team in the RBI department, at least top 5, and he's a leadoff hitter. But he's a leadoff hitter that is swing happy, really likes to swing the bat. For Greg Carrington, that was his 6th double this season. And he scored coming from third base. One away, 5-0 Toronto Maple Leafs over the Guelph Royals. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Justin Morrow, who hit a home run way out there to right center field in his last at-bat, swings and fouls it off. Justin Morrow was looking for the fastball there from Braun. Ball is in the dirt. And in mentioning as well that Justin Morrow is second in IBL home runs, I'm looking at point streak right now, and I'm noticing an absence of Justin Gideon, who I know has at least 10 home runs. So I guess he would be third. So I think that's some kind of input error there on the point streak side of things. So he's tied now with Robert Mullen for third place with 9 home runs. Cleveland Brownlee leads things off. What a year he has had for the London Majors. Here's another one hit out to right field. Is it fair or foul? And it's going to hook way foul by Justin Morrow. That ball looked like it had potential, but it did actually end up about 50 feet foul down the left field line, and it actually didn't really have home run distance either. Morrow swings and misses strike 3 on a high fastball. So a loud foul ball and to a strikeout on the high fastball for Justin Morrow. And although both of these left-handed hitters have hit home runs against Ben Braun, it is a lefty-lefty matchup, so that still does favor the pitcher for the Guelph Royals, and especially against these two lefty bats with big, long swings. John Solazzo hit his 4th home run of the season last at-bat. Pitch is low and inside, now 0-2 on John Solazzo. In mentioning that Cleveland Brownlee has 11 home runs, he also leads the IBL with 38 RBIs for the London Majors. And then second in the RBI department is Malik Collymore, who's the leadoff hitter for the Guelph Royals this afternoon. Justin Morrow also in the top 10 in the RBI department with 31, now 32 with that solo home run in the first inning. Pitch just outside, 3-1. On the pitching side of things as well, you can't help but talk about a guy that the Toronto Maple Leafs probably are glad they're not facing this afternoon, as heading down to first base is John Solazzo. That's a 2-out walk to bring up Aiden McCaskey. Claudio Custodio was a guy that the Maple Leafs saw last time the Guelph Royals were here. That was part of a 4-3 win, but man, they were in tough against the guy who has 145 strikeouts this season for the Guelph Royals. He's in first place in the Intercounty Baseball League in that department by 45. Only Jose Arias is in that department with 100 strikeouts this season. And by the way, Claudio Custodio is batting over 308 games for the Guelph Royals to go along with second place in ERA and first place in strikeouts in the IBL. What an asset he is, but the Maple Leafs are catching a break, not having to face Claudio Custodio in this one. Two outs and an 0-2 count. Ben Braun has lost the strike zone a little bit in these last two batters. McCaskey swings and misses. That's a good breaking ball from Braun. Claudio Custodio had 13 strikeouts against the Welland Jackfish in his last start. That was yesterday as part of a 8-5 win for the Guelph Royals. They're on a run of 3 games in 3 days. So now turning to Ben Braun to try and get as far into this game as he can. Although Claudio Custodio did pitch 8 innings against the Welland Jackfish last night. Gave up 4 runs, walked 2. Claudio Custodio hasn't had a start this season where he's gone less than 7 innings. Pitch way inside to Aiden McCaskey, just able to jump out of the way. Now 3-2. Aiden McCaskey sitting 6th in IBL home runs, fouls one straight back, and just about goes into the press box. Inches away. Haven't got a ball up here in what we can call the broadcast booth yet this season, and I haven't seen one go into the press box either. McCaskey hits one on the ground. This is a little chopper up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop. Throw on to first just in time. Charging to make a good play was Brando LaRue. And the Guelph Royals get out of it, but not before the Toronto Maple Leafs put up a couple more runs, finished off by a sac fly to cash in Greg Carrington. And the 18th RBI of the season for Jose Vinicio. Coming back to the mound is Angel Castro, who's throwing just 16 pitches through 2 innings. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs TV. Angel Castro, 16 pitches so far, 6 up, 6 down. Kyle Cush is the batter leading things off for the Guelph Royals. Fakes a bunt and takes over the outside corner, strike 1. Kyle Cush, the native of Guelph, Ontario, playing for his hometown team. He's the second baseman this afternoon. Cush fouls one off left side and quickly 0-2 against the Royals' second baseman. Cush was 0 for 3 with a strikeout last game against the Welland Jackfish. Welland, a tough team to beat in the IBL this season. Ground ball to Jose Vinicio, takes it on a short hop, throws over to first base. A long looping throw from Jose Vinicio, but he's got swagger out there at short, and there's one away. Brandon Keys is the catcher this afternoon for the Guelph Royals. Hits one on the ground, and what a stop by Angel Castro. Loops one over to first base, 2 away. How about that? Quickly, once again, this time on one pitch. Angel Castro is nearly through 3 innings, and right now he's at 20 pitches. And no doubt that ball would have gone up the middle if Castro hadn't stopped it. There's always a discussion about whether it's a good idea for the pitcher to play those soft ground balls. That one was a good decision by Castro. Ball hit on the ground. This one's to third base. Ball momentarily, and Vinicio is going to throw it away. And I think that might go as an infield single. It went past John Solazzo. Jose Vinicio was there backing him up, but in fairness to Jose Vinicio, that was going to be a really, really tough play. And they are going to score that a single for Brando LaRue. And if anyone had it in their mind that Angel Castro had no hit stuff, you can just put that one away right now with the infield single. But we'll see if Castro can persevere through that, because his pitch count is still extremely low through 2 2/3 so far. So LaRue gets the first hit of the ball game, brings up the leadoff hitter, Malik Collymore, playing right field for the Guelph Royals. Collymore 0 for 1 so far, but comes into this game with comes into this at bat with a .374 batting average. Breaking ball just misses inside. Angel Castro leaning back, wanted the call on that one. It's 2-0 on Collymore. Castro has induced a lot of soft contact, which has allowed that pitch count to be so low so far. And he might have to do the same thing as this in this at bat, as it's now 3-0, and Castro takes a deep breath with Ethan Hammond on deck, but 2 outs facing Malik Collymore. Run over there at first base, as mentioned, Malik Collymore leading the Guelph Royals in RBIs and second in the Intercounty Baseball League with 34, and he won't get an opportunity this time as Angel Castro walks him on 4 pitches. That is the first walk issued by Angel Castro. And it brings up Ethan Hammond, another guy hitting .370 for the Guelph Royals this season. Man, oh man, has he been good. Last time we saw the Guelph Royals here, Ethan Hammond was hitting down the lineup in the 6th or 7th spot, but now earned himself a spot in number 2. No Dalton Pompey for the Guelph Royals as well this afternoon. Another one of those guys hitting well over 300 for Guelph. But no surprise with the professional experience that Pompey has acquired over his baseball career. Ethan Hammond has 1 home run and 28 RBIs for the Guelph Royals this season. The big righty Castro delivers. And he misses outside. And now 6 consecutive balls delivered by Angel Castro. Castro was nearly through 3 innings on 20 pitches. But an infield single, which could have ended the inning, and a 4-pitch walk as Castro delivers a strike. Ethan Hammond was taking all the way after Castro delivered 6 straight balls. Castro keeps bringing his ERA down every time he starts. There's a breaking ball outside corner. This time Castro gets the call. It's 2-2. Started at 12 for Angel Castro, which is not a way you want to start your Intercounty Baseball League career on the mound, but he's brought it down every single start he's had, down to .754 now this season, in 22 2/3 innings pitched, and Castro gets him swinging, and he loves it. Big celebration on the mound, and he keeps the Guelph Royals scoreless as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Bottom of the 3rd inning, I should say. Castro, his 2nd strikeout, and the pitch count stays low now, just at 30 pitches through 3 innings. Maple Leafs leading 5-0 over the Guelph Royals. It's Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs TV. Connor Lewis leading things off. New pitcher into the game for the Guelph Royals. And we are working on finding out who that is. Swing and a miss by Connor Lewis. And we don't have any leads yet on who the pitcher is. Lewis hits one on the ground to shortstop. LaRue has it. Whips the throw onto first base, and just keeping the foot on the bag was Interessano. And there's one away. So we got the pitcher. It's Emily Guerrero. As the pitch is outside. Guerrero last pitched on July 19th against the Hamilton Cardinals. That was part of a 18-7 win. 5 innings, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 4. Pitch over the inside corner. Dan Mara is the batter. Mara pops one foul left side. Count now 1-1 on the Maple Leafs second baseman. Guerrero has a side-winding delivery. Doesn't throw particularly hard, but he gets Mara to ground one to shortstop, and LaRue, who's had to make his 4th or 5th play already this game, but has been solid, throws out Dan Mara, and there's 2 away. Guerrero has started 9 of the 11 appearances that he's had this season, but the Royals not wanting this game to get too out of hand after Braun gave up 5 in 2 innings. And those starts have just been getting shorter and shorter for Ben Braun as this season has gone on. Here's the ball lined into center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Grant Tamane stops at first base with a 2-out single. Emily Guerrero has a 5.45 ERA. A 6-3 record, though, in those 9 starts he's had. Pitch over the outside corner, strike one. That was a breaking ball from Guerrero. Guerrero does induce a lot of contact. In 61 innings pitched for the Guelph Royals this season, struck out just 34 and walked only 9. Guerrero whips one over to first base, and back just in time was Grant Tamane. Ball hit on the ground. Going the short way is the third baseman on to second, and that is going to do it. So a ground out by Luca Boscareno. Barless makes the nice play to second base, and Emily Guerrero gets a clean inning out of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We head to the top of the 4th. 5-0 Maple Leafs over the Guelph Royals. This is Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Sean Riley leads things off for the Guelph Royals. Sean Riley has still got it in his mid-40s. And now he cranks one into the outfield. This one is a diving play by Grant Tamane. And did he come up with it? And the umpire says no. Grant Tamane says yes, but who wouldn't? And that's a single for Sean Riley. Sean Riley playing 2 of the last 4 games for the Guelph Royals, but over that stretch, he's been 3 for 8 with a run scored. Josh Garton has some serious power. And there's an example of it right there on that thunderous swing and a miss, strike 1. And Josh Garton hasn't played a ton of baseball of late either. Had a stint between June 5th, as now Garton hits one in the air to left field. And right on cue, there's the power opposite field. And now it's 5-2 Toronto Maple Leafs, as that's a 2-run home run for Josh Garton, who has now hit a home run in over half the games that he's been a part of this season in the IBL. And I don't even think Josh Garton got all of that. He just whacked it over the left field wall. And the Guelph Royals have brought it to within 3. Okay, so now I can finish that point on the power by Josh Garton. He's played in 6 games this season. This is his 7th game this year playing in the IBL, and now that's his 5th home run. And he's hitting .345. Here's the ball popped up left side, but it's going to hook out of play. Justin Inarasano, the first baseman, is the batter. Garton has had 11 hits this season. 5 of them have been home runs. And 1's been a double. Up and in to Inarasano, and that one might have caught him on the arm. That's a hit batter for Angel Castro, who's visibly frustrated on the mound. Josh Garton, while rounding third base, gave a little shout to the Bushman down the left field line. Actually, it's more than a little shout. He had an animated cupping of the ear, indicating he should be hearing some noise from the Bushmen, but they are loyal Toronto Maple Leafs fans down the left field line. So I'm sure no matter what happens in the next at-bat for Josh Garton, they'll have something to say. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was sparked as well by Josh Garton taking a ball off the chest on a ball that he dove for out there in left field. So that might be a little bit of payback for Josh Garton after the razzing from the Bushmen. Inarasano is on at first base. He was hit by the pitch. Still nobody out here in the 4th inning. The Guelph Royals have 2 in on the 2-run home run, 5th of the year for Garton. Now Angel Castro has to reel it back in the 4th after he rolled through the first 2 2/3, had a little bit of trouble, walked a batter back in the 3rd inning to end things off, but had a huge strikeout that he was fired up about. And even when Angel Castro is pitching, he is animated. He's kind of that Alek Manoah type. Here's a ground ball to Castro, whips one over to second base, throw on to first, a double play, all started by Angel Castro, who makes another nice play on the mound. And now there's 2 away, and the danger has been almost averted here in this top of the 4th inning for the Maple Leafs. Castro gloved that ball, knew he had some time, but made a strong throw over there to Jose Vinicio at second base. And Darius Barlas grounds into the double play. Pitch over the inside corner, strike 1 to Kyle Cush. Cush hitting just .203 this season. Now a ground ball to Jose Vinicio. Plays it, quick throw on to first base, and that will do it. So a 2-run home run, but limiting the damage is Angel Castro with the double play, but not before Josh Garton brings the Guelph Royals to within 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Toronto Maple Leafs will try and get it right back. It's Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Greg Carrington will lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the side-winding righty, Emily Guerrero, delivers strike 1. Guerrero going for his 2nd inning of work, as this one's popped foul by Carrington, now 0-2. As mentioned, Guerrero doesn't have a ton of velocity, but he does have that deceptive side-winding delivery and a good breaking ball as well. Here's a ground ball to Justin Interesano. Throws over to Emily Guerrero, who got over there quickly. And there's one away as Carrington is retired. So with the righty on the mound, Jose Vinicio will turn around and hit left-handed now. Justin Mara on deck. Jose Vinicio is the leadoff batter for the Toronto Maple Leafs. First pitch from Guerrero. Right down the middle, strike 1. Vinicio hits a ground ball. LaRue bobbles it momentarily. Is that enough time to beat it out? Not quite. LaRue recovers really nicely and throws a rocket over there to Interesano. And Jose Vinicio is retired. And now the Guelph bullpen is starting to really settle in the form of Emily Guerrero, as he set down the Toronto Maple Leafs quietly in his 1st inning of work. That was the bottom of the 3rd inning, and now quickly has 2 away against the Leafs in the 4th. Justin Mara 1 for 2 with a home run in the 1st inning. Mara's got that batting average up to .333 after a slow start to the 2022 campaign. Mara takes low and in, ball 1. This is a better matchup for Justin Mara. Although the Toronto Maple Leafs have no problem with facing velocity, Mara can connect with maybe one of these breaking balls or maybe sit on a fastball from Emily Guerrero. Mara likes hitting righties much better than lefties, not to mention a sidewinding righty as well. Here's a ball hit to center field, but not quite deep enough on a line. Coming over and making a nice catch was Ethan Hammond Justin Mara hit it hard, but the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't able to answer after the Guelph Royals scored 2 in the top half of the 4th inning. We head to the top of the 5th. Maple Leafs 5, Guelph Royals 2. This is Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs TV. 5-2 Maple Leafs over the Guelph Royals. Justin Morrow with a hard line out to center field. And that's what ended the bottom half of the 4th inning. Emily Guerrero has been great coming out of the bullpen for the Guelph Royals thus far. Still on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Angel Castro giving up 2 runs over the first 4 innings, but was rolling through 2 2/3. Castro trying to get things back on track here in the 5th. Pitches up and away, now 1-2 after getting ahead quickly to the Guelph Royals catcher. Brendan Keys hitting .217 so far this year. Keys hits one on the ground. This one's to the third baseman, John Solazzo. Throws a hard throw to first, picked out by Aiden McCaskey over there at first base. And John Solazzo gives a shout out there. That was a nice pick by McCaskey for out number 1. The 9-hitter, Brando LaRue, hitting .284 this season. 10 strikeouts and just 20 or 87 at-bats for LaRue. He's had a good day defensively as well at shortstop. LaRue hits one on the ground. Solazzo, a long throw to first base. Not in time. Oh, John Solazzo would have loved to have that one. Puts his hands over his head. That was a close play at first base, and he threw it from nearly in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. Aiden McCaskey did all he could to dig that one out, but it just wasn't in time to catch the speed of the shortstop, Brando LaRue. John Solazzo made a play like that last year, and I compared him to Manny Machado. Promptly got a text from John Solazzo right after asking for the clip of that web gem, he called it. That was nearly even a better one than he had last season. Throw over to first base. You know, to be fair to Angel Castro, he's given up a couple of infield hits this game, and one of them, neither of them so far have really hurt him all that much, but one of the infield hits would have got him out of the inning and saved him about 15 pitches in the bottom of the 3rd. And now this one ends up being a 1-out base hit. There hasn't been a ton of hard contact other than that Josh Garton home run for the Guelph Royals so far. Big swing and a miss by Malik Collymore, who's 0 for 1 and walked in his last at-bat. Collymore has 5 home runs this season and 34 RBIs. Not your prototypical leadoff hitter. Collymore drills one out there. This one's to left center. That one gets down and rolls all the way to the wall. In center field, Connor Lewis picks it up and throws it in, and they're going to hold the runner at third base in Brando LaRue. And that's a ringing double to center field by Malik Collymore, who nearly had RBI number 35 this season. LaRue is 2 for 2 out of the 9 spot. Now Malik Collymore 2 for 3 out of the leadoff spot. And guys are on for the big bats of the Guelph Royals. Ethan Hammond, Sean Riley, and then Josh Garton, if it gets that far. Hammond hits a ball in the air, and it's going to hook foul down the left field line. Ethan Hammond, a young guy, 2000-born player from Oakville, Ontario. Stands at 5'9". 17 RBIs this season for Hammond. And he's got 2 sitting in scoring position. Pitch just inside, 1-1. $40 for Hammond, 10 of them doubles this season. And 107 at-bats. He's been a regular in the lineup for the Guelph Royals. Here's the 1-1. Swing, ground ball hit to the second baseman. This is going to score a run. Throw over to first base by Dan Mara to get the out. But the Guelph Royals are now within 2, and it's 5-3. Sean Riley singled in his last at-bat. He's the DH as he's been all season for the Guelph Royals. Malik Collymore is the runner at third base. Ethan Hammond does his job and gets the run in. And we're just in the 5th inning, and it's a 2-run ball game between the Guelph Royals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Riley takes inside, ball 1. Riley hits one on the ground. A sharp ball to Jose Vinicio. Takes it on one hop, and a long throw to first base is in plenty of time to get Sean Riley. The Guelph Royals score 1 on the RBI by Ethan Hammond, but Malik Collymore facilitated that. It's 5-3. Toronto Maple Leafs over the Guelph Royals. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs TV, 5-3. The Toronto Maple Leafs leading the Guelph Royals on a cloudy Sunday afternoon. Thomas West here with you, and John Solazzo is at the plate to lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's over the outside corner, but it's ball one. Emily Guerrero into his third inning of work, and he can pitch some innings. This is 1-1 now on John Solazzo. 9 of the 11 appearances that Emily Guerrero has had for the Guelph Royals this season have been starts. Outside ball one. I'm wondering if he might be fighting for a starting position as well with Ben Braun, who started this game and gave up 5 runs over his first 2 innings, all of them earned. Outside now 3-1. This is the first time that we've seen Emily Guerrero get significantly behind a batter to the Toronto Maple Leafs. 3-1 count for John Solazzo. Already has a home run this game. We'll see if he can connect with the side-winding righty Guerrero. Solazzo does, right field line, but it's foul. That one certainly had home run distance as he rocked that ball foul. And you knew the fastball was coming. John Solazzo did as well. I was almost positive that was going to be a home run before the pitch was thrown. Now 3-2. And he might go upstairs with the fastball this time. He does. John Solazzo swings and misses. Strike 3. Inter-county baseball league teams have sometimes really been able to figure out what to do against the Toronto Maple Leafs when it comes to John Solazzo and Justin Mara. I can't tell you how many times both batters have hit a ball home run distance down the right field line, and then they come back with some kind of pitch selection, either the breaking ball down and in, getting it in the dirt, or the fastball up and away. Here's a ground ball. This was to second base, and it's going to be a tough play, a throw on to first. Kyle Kush makes it look easy, 2 away. I can't tell you how many times that those two batters have hit a ball home run distance down the right field line, and then they come back with either a breaking ball in the dirt or a fastball up and away because they really get geared into that home run swing. And it ends up being a strikeout, and that's a lot of the time where the high number of strikeouts come for both John Solazzo and Justin Mara. Solazzo hit that foul ball that had Little League home run distance. Here's a bunt down the third base line, a throw on to first, and it goes into the outfield. And Connor Lewis is going to head down to second base, and that's all he's going to do. So Lewis creates some havoc on the infield and ends up being able to force an error from the Guelph Royals third baseman. Well, sometimes the bunt for a base hit can have multiple rewards. Either you can lay down a perfect bunt. That certainly wasn't a perfect bunt from Connor Lewis, but it was good enough to force Darius Barlas into a tough play. He throws it away at first base. Justin Interessano had a really tough hop to try and scoop that one. And now there's a runner in scoring position, but Dan Marr is going to pop this one up, and this should end the inning. Interessano comes in, makes the catch, and that will do it. So the error by Barlas does not factor in on that Connor Lewis bunt base hit and heads up to second base on the error. It's still 5-3. Toronto Maple Leafs leading the Guelph Royals. This is Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Thomas West here with you. 5-3, the Toronto Maple Leafs leading the Guelph Royals. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Emily Carrero has really been holding down the fort. 3 innings of good relief as Josh Garton steps to the plate, rocked a home run to the opposite field in his last at-bat. Now he goes opposite field again. This one's high and deep, but foul down the left field line. And Josh Garton just has a ton of power. I'm not even sure he got all of that ball that he hit over the left field wall. But, man, it had the home run distance. It was way up into the trees out there in left field. Angel Castro's 0-1. Garton was thinking of bunting. John Solazzo was way back at third base, and now John Solazzo is having a laugh there with Josh Garton. The count's now 0-2. Solazzo doesn't budge at third base. He's not buying that bunt. Garton check swing. Did he go? Check down to first. No, he didn't. 2-1. Big swing and a miss from Garton. So Garton ended up going to the Hamilton Cardinals after the Guelph Royals didn't play last season. But he's been a Guelph Royal since 2018. Other than that, swing and a miss by Josh Garton. And there's the heckles from the Bushmen that we predicted a little bit earlier. And it brings up Justin Iterisano. Justin Iterisano keeping that batting average just over 300 this season. Big swing and a miss, strike one. The 0-1. Swinging a ground ball, first base side foul. Iterisano last played in 2019 and had a great playoffs, hitting .412 in the first round of the playoffs. Iterisano hits the ball. This one's to left field, pretty deep, but Grant Tamani is planted under it. He makes the catch. 2 away. Darius Barlis, the third baseman. Angel Castro's pitching line so far on the strikes and balls side, 45 strikes, just 19 balls. Over 5 2/3 innings. Bunt that's going to go back to the screen. This will be pitch number 67 for Angel Castro, who's been extremely efficient so far, and it's a strike, 0-2. 1 strike away from getting through 6 innings with under 70 pitches. The 0-2. Inside, 1-2. Just the 3 runs given up by Angel Castro. One was the 2-run home run by Josh Garton and an RBI groundout after a Malik Collymore double. A fly ball out to left field. Coming in and making the catch is Grant Tamane. And there it is. Less than 70 pitches for Angel Castro, and he's through 6 innings. And other than the 3 runs, he has been rolling and pounding the strike zone so far for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who just lead by 2 runs. It's 5-3. Maple Leafs over the Guelph Royals. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Toronto Maple Leafs TV, brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs TV. Thomas West here with you. It's Grant Tamani, the batter, and he takes strike one. From who else but Emily Guerrero. Here's a line drive, base hit, the second single for Grant Tamani this game. That's just the third hit that Emily Guerrero has given up, and now this is his fourth inning of work, and it brings up Luca Boscareno. Grant Tamani has that batting average up to 268 now. Boscareno squaring to bunt and takes outside ball one. Toronto Maple Leafs are coming off a 7-4 win against the Hamilton Cardinals. Here's a bunt down the first base line. That one's going to go foul 1-1. Luca Boscareno is committed to trying to move that runner up. And the Maple Leafs have Greg Carrington on deck, who doubled already in this game, and then Jose Vinicio back to the top of the order. So Luca Boscareno's role is to stay to the double play and turn things back over to the 9 and then top of the order. Throw over to first base, diving back in is Grant Tamani. That was close at first base. Boscareno scoring to bunt again, but takes ball 2. Some notable performances in that last game against the Hamilton Cardinals. Grant Tamani has been rolling along. That's now 5 hits in his last 2 games. He was 3 for 5. Dan Mara was also 3 for 5. Boscareno scoring to bunt again, and they can't get it down. This time he fouls it off, and it's 2-2. And now, likely, Luca Boscareno is going to have to swing away. Connor Lewis was 2 for 5. Aiden McCaskey as well was 2 for 5. The bottom of the order was fantastic. Boscareno, Castro, Mara, and Vinicio just had 3 hits combined between them. Will Boscareno bunt with 2 strikes? No, but that one's going to work. It's a little chopper, and it'll roll foul. Never mind. Luca Boscareno wasn't able to get the bunt down, but almost had a chopper that found some chalk down the third base line, but eventually rolled foul. Justin Mara hit home run number 8 last game, and John Solazzo home run number 3 against the Hamilton Cardinals. And once again, they have both hit home runs in this ball game. So 2 guys with 2 home runs in their last 2 games. 2-2 count on Luca Boscareno, who's now got himself into a 2-2 battle after trying to lay down the bunt. All fouled off left side. Emily Guerrero, like Angel Castro, has been pounding the strike zone. 26 strikes in just 7 balls. Here's the pitch to Boscareno. This one's hit on the ground, and it could be 2. Big, tall hop, and now a throw on to first base, and it's going to get away once again. Luca Boscareno is going to hold his ground over there at first base, and he actually started turning towards second, so he has to quickly get back to first. So that's going to go as a fielder's choice, and that's probably all, as LaRue's throw was wild over there at first. Kyle Cush had a hop that kind of took a different direction and ended up going right into his throwing position. And the feed was good over there to second, but the speedy Luca Boscareno was able to put enough pressure on the shortstop, LaRue, to force that throw in the dirt. So 1 away, bottom of the 6th inning, the Toronto Maple Leafs leading 5-3 over the Guelph Royals. They're looking for more in the form of Greg Carrington, who has a double this game. Carrington takes over the outside corner, strike 1. Toronto Maple Leafs have 5 runs on 8 hits. The Royals 3 runs on 5 hits and a couple of errors as well. Carrington takes strike 2 now. If Carrington can get on base, the Toronto Maple Leafs would love to get back to the top of the order with Jose Vinicio, Justin Mara, and then John Solazzo. Boscareno dives back in. Grounded into a fielder's choice this inning. Carrington is 1 for 2 with that double back in the third inning. Now he hits one in the air once again. This one's to left field. Going back as Josh Garton, he makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Greg Carrington put a good swing on it, but it might have been out towards the end of the bat. It didn't have a whole lot of carry, and Josh Garton was able to backpedal just a couple of steps to make that catch. So back to the top of the order, but there are 2 outs. Jose Vinicio is the batter with Justin Mara on deck. Jose Vinicio is 0 for 2, but he does have a sac fly. That cashed in the 5th run of the ball game for the Maple Leafs. Vinicio grounds one. That one's going to find a hole. Trying to go first to third was Boscarino. Now he's going to put on the brakes, but maybe he should have, as Malik Collymore had a little bit of trouble with it out there in the outfield. So first and second, but with 2 away for the big power bat of Justin Mara, who hit a home run back in the first inning, but has had some solid contact, whether it be the home run or a foul ball down the left field line. 1 for 3 with a strikeout, though, on the line this afternoon. John Solazzo on deck, hopeful of an at-bat. Outside corner, strike 1 to Justin Mara, and that is where Emily Guerrero has to live against Justin Mara. There's only so many at-bats that Justin Mara can have against a soft-throwing, side-winding righty before he's able to connect. Pitch is low and inside. John Solazzo was the same way. He just missed a ball that he hit down the right field line in his last at-bat. So let's see if Emily Guerrero can keep that ball over the outside corner to Justin Mara. Here's the 1-1. He does, but he just misses, and some visible frustration on the mound from Emily Guerrero after not getting that call. 2-1. A couple of ducks on the pond for Justin Mara, and now the sun is starting to come out here at Dominico Field. Pitch is way inside, 3-1. And this is where you have to be careful to Justin Mara. 3rd in the IBL in home runs, tied with Mullen of the London Majors. Here's the 3-1. Outside ball 4, and maybe a little bit too careful for Emily Guerrero. And now the bases are loaded for another big power bat. And the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup, this one in the form of John Solazzo. A home run in each of the last 2 games for Solazzo. One of those 2 games being the one we're playing right now. 5-3 Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 6th inning. As there's a meeting on the mound by the Guelph Royals. And Emily Guerrero is going to stay in the game to face John Solazzo. And this is a very favorable matchup for the big lefty for the Toronto Maple Leafs. "24 RBIs for John Solazzo, takes strike 1. That meeting on the mound might have been discussing the game plan against John Solazzo, who you can only imagine is just sitting on a fastball right now at the plate. Here's the pitch. Solazzo hammers one. This one's out to right field, and it is gone. John Solazzo tees one up, his 2nd home run of the ball game, and it's a grand slam. The Toronto Maple Leafs lead 9-3. Well, you didn't need to be a scientist or a mathematician to know that that was going to be a home run from John Solazzo. He had some really, really good swings on his last bat against Emily Guerrero. Makes the minor tweak that he needed. Sat on a fastball, just like we mentioned. And now the game has been blown open to a certain extent. It's 9-3 Maple Leafs. Aiden McCaskey swings and misses, strike one. But in credit to John Solazzo, sometimes there's really just nothing you can do. You're a team coming off your third game in a row, although you did get a really good performance from your starting pitcher last game, but still 3 games in 3 days is always difficult in terms of the bullpen, and there's no one warming up in the Guelph Royals pen. Pitches inside, and it hits Aiden McCaskey. He'll head down to first base. Emily Guerrero was obviously the guy, but I don't know that it was an overly wise decision to leave him in 2 or 3 times through this Toronto Maple Leafs batting order. Emily Guerrero has now given up 4 runs to the Maple Leafs. Here's one that's popped up and should end the inning. Coming over is Darius Barless. He makes the catch in foul territory by third base, and the inning is over. But the Toronto Maple Leafs get the grand slam from John Solazzo in what was really a 2-out rally, and then Solazzo hammered one off the light stand over there in right field. It's 9-3 Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Toronto Maple Leafs TV, presented by TD Canada Trust. (9-3) Toronto Maple Leafs after that big grand slam by John Solazzo. This is Maple Leafs TV. Thomas West here with you. Maple Leafs TV is presented by TD Canada Trust. Angel Castro back on the mound into his 7th inning of work. Here's a ground ball. This one's to second base. Throw over to first. Aiden McCaskey is right there to catch it after the throw from Dan Mara. And there's one away. So Kyle Cush grounds out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Angel Castro, who has a pitch count right now of just 70 pitches. And he's in the 7th inning. And remember, Angel Castro has thrown 134 pitches this season. And if all goes well, this could be a complete game for Angel Castro. Here's the ball hit in the air, left side foul. Castro's pitch, ground ball, and this one's going to sneak through the infield. Angel Castro was hustling over there to first base, but the ball got through, and now 1 on and 1 out for the Guelph Royals. And as the sun comes out here at Dominico Field, here comes the heat and the humidity. You can just feel it. And that ball is going to start to really travel in the air, especially to right field. Brando LaRue, the shortstop, with a runner on first. Swings and misses, strike one. Castro's pitch has popped up. This looks like a relatively easy fly ball for Greg Carrington. He makes the catch. And now there's two away. In his last start, NL Castro threw 71 pitches. That was part of that 20-4 win for the Maple Leafs over the Barrie Bay Cats. And then before that, he went 7 2/3. And that is the most that he's gone this season. So one more out will match the best outing for NL Castro innings-wise and pitching-wise. There's no question about it. But against Barrie for the first time, that was his third start of the year, he threw 134 pitches. And he's sitting around 75 right now against Guelph. And he's maybe a pitch away from getting out of this and through 8 innings of work. And there it is. Pop up on the infield. NL Castro calls for it, but now gets called off. All the infielders converging, and it ends up being Aiden McCaskey who makes the catch, getting the start over there at first base in favor of Jordan Castaldo. So the best start as a Toronto Maple Leaf so far for Angel Castro. He is through 7 innings of work. Or I guess he has gone 7 2/3. So he has some more work to do, but the pitch count is sparkling right now for Angel Castro. Maple Leafs leading 9-3 over the Guelph Royals, and the Bats coming up. This is Maple Leafs TV, presented by TD Canada Trust. Dan Mara leads things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Takes outside ball one. Emily Guerrero stays on the mound. Give up the grand slam last inning. Mara pops one up. This one's on the infield. It's the shortstop LaRue. He makes the catch, one away. Grant Tamane, the batter, and this one's fouled off left side. Grant Tamane has a couple of singles this afternoon. Takes in the dirt, now 0-2, or 1-1, I should say. Tamane hits one on the ground. This one's to the second baseman. High hop for Kyle Kush. Throw on to first, 2 away. Emily Guerrero, after giving up the grand slam last inning, is now settled right back in the bottom of the 7th. Luca Boscareno, the batter for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He pops it up. This one's going to hook foul left side once again. There's been multiple instances here, and man, is it ever fortunate as well that this is the case at Christie Pitts. But we've had so many times where it looks like it's going to be a thunderstormy Sunday afternoon or Wednesday evening, and the game's going to get canceled. But not once this season have we been rained out here at Christie Pitts. And I guess we should knock wood on that as well. But the schedule is so tight in the IBL. You look at the Guelph Royals with 3 games in 3 days. That's difficult. And the Toronto Maple Leafs fortunate to be playing a strong team like the Guelph Royals. After that, they might see that as a bit of a break. And the Maple Leafs now have a really good chance to break that 5-game win streak the Guelph Royals have put together, as Luca Boscareno is going to foul this one off his foot, and it rolls down the third base line. With those 5 wins in a row, the Guelph Royals are just 1 game out of third place, as there's a swing and a miss by Luca Boscareno. Strike 3. A good inning for Emily Guerrero, who needs to settle back in. There is some action in the Guelph Royals bullpen, but Emily Guerrero has done a good job of eating up these innings for the Royals. But they trail 9-3. The Toronto Maple Leafs out in front. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's our top of the 8th inning, I should say. It's Toronto Maple Leafs TV, presented by TD Canada Trust. New pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's Franklin Hernandez, who relieves Angel Castro, who had a great start, and there's no question that's his best start with the Toronto Maple Leafs so far this season. Through just under 80 pitches, allowed the 3 runs. And the Toronto Maple Leafs go to one former MLB prospect to another in the form of Franklin Hernandez. Franklin Hernandez coming from the Dominican Republic, leading the Toronto Maple Leafs right now in earned run average with 225. But he's only pitched in 3 games, to be fair. But 3 innings, 4 innings, and 1 inning in those 3 games for Franklin Hernandez. 2 of them, he's taken the decision as well. He's pitched in 3 games, and he's 1-1 coming out of the bullpen. Pitches inside, now 3-0. Franklin Hernandez having a bit of trouble finding the strike zone to start out this outing. Maple Leafs leading by 6 runs. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Leafs turn to Franklin Hernandez for 2 innings unless Chris Nagorski ends up coming out of the bullpen. Franklin Hernandez, 2 outings ago, as this pitch is hit on the ground, and Hernandez will get out of that 3-0 situation as Dan Mara throws on to Aiden McCaskey, 1 away. Franklin Hernandez, actually, he didn't come out of the bullpen. He started that game against the London Majors, went 4 innings, allowed 8 runs, but only 1 of them was earned. So he's given up a ton of runs this season, but the ERA stays at 2.25, as there was just a commodity of errors and, well, just errors pretty much in that game that caused those unearned runs from Franklin Hernandez and ended up having a pretty nasty scoreline, but the earned run average didn't take a hit. Here's Sean Riley, the batter. 1 out. Riley does a fantastic job of shortening up those swings when it's not a situation where he really wants to drive one to the ballpark. Although Sean Riley has tremendous power, as you as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, if you're watching, would know by seeing him last season. There was the big swing, and now it's 0-2 on Riley. And Hernandez, he is not shy of the strikeout as well. Struck out the side in his last game against the Hamilton Cardinals. That was yesterday. Give up just a hit, but struck out every other batter. Pitches up high to Sean Riley, now 1-2. Against the London Majors, he struck out 4 in 4 innings, and then in his debut against the Hamilton Cardinals, he struck out 4 in 3 innings, including a strikeout of the side in his first inning right off the plane from the Dominican Republic. Here's the 1-2. Riley hits one in the air. This one's to left field, not particularly deep, coming over, and this one's going to drop for Sean Riley. A bloop base hit down the right field line, and Riley is aboard with his second hit of the ball game. And Sean Riley, I think, has a little bit of a laugh over there with the young Aiden McCaskey. That's veteran and rookie. As veteran as you can really get other than Damon Topley here in the IBL. And that's an interesting dynamic over there at first base. In fairness, Franklin Hernandez has had 2 games where he's been playing against a really, really easy team in the IBL, I guess you could say, and one against a really, really hard team in the London Majors. The Hamilton Cardinals are 2 of those 3 games that Franklin Hernandez has pitched in, and the Hamilton Cardinals have lost 11 games in a row, and they're in jeopardy of being overtaken by the Brantford Red Sox at this point. But remember, all of that is just for seeding in the Intercounty Baseball League. But not to discount the importance of getting a favorable first-round matchup. Josh Garton, the batter, 2-0 count, and even with the good stuff that Franklin Hernandez has, you got to be careful against Josh Garton as he takes way down and in. That one bounced about 3 feet in front of home plate. Now it's 3-0 to Garton. Garton's home run came with Sean Riley on first base. That was a couple innings ago. 5 home runs this season already for Garton. 3-0, maybe a green light. We'll see. Here's the pitch. Garton takes outside, ball 4. And now the throw gets away from Franklin Hernandez, but Jose Vinicio is right there to scoop it up. The standings in the Intercounty Baseball League are as follows. It's the Welland Jackfish who lost their last game to these Guelph Royals, but they're in first place. And just 1 game back of them is the London Majors. 2 games out of first base is the Guelph Royals, and then 5 games out of first, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Barrie Baycats. They are tied in what many people are predicting to be the first round of matchup in the Intercounty Baseball League. That's the Barrie Baycats and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And what a first round matchup that would be. Those 2 teams do not like each other. They've already had a benches clearing incident. Angel Castro has been a big part of the chirps from the dugout as well when those two teams have played each other. As a strong wind now blows in from center field against Justin Interesano. He has a couple of runners on base. Sean Riley is at second. Josh Garton at first. Not a ton of speed on the base paths or at home plate with Justin Interesano, but those are the big bats in the lineup for the Guelph Royals. Franklin Hernandez trying to get out of a bit of a 2-on, 1-out jam here in the top of the 8th inning with his team in front by 6. Interesano hits one in the air. This one's to left field. Right there is Grant Tamane, makes the catch on a line. Justin Interesano hit it hard, but now there's 2 away. The Kitchener Panthers are just below the Barrie Bay Cats. They're 11 games out of first place, and that seems pretty much insurmountable for the Kitchener Panthers. And it almost seems, well, it seems very likely that it'll be the Kitchener Panthers, Hamilton Cardinals, and Brantford Red Sox occupying any of those bottom 3 spots in the Intercounty Baseball League. Cardinals are 16 games out of first, and Brantford Red Sox, who have won just 2 games this season, are 20 games behind the Welland Jackfish. A record of 2-27. And you look at a team as this one gets to the backstop from Franklin Hernandez. Now there's 2 runners in scoring position for the Guelph Royals. The batter is Darius Barless. You look at a team who scored the most runs in the Intercounty Baseball League this season. That's the Welland Jackfish. They have 287 runs. The Brantford Red Sox have scored just 99. Franklin Hernandez trying to get out of a jam. The 1-0. This one's hit into the air to center field. That one's going to get down. It's a single. 2 runs are going to come in to score, and the Guelph Royals are not going away just yet, as Franklin Hernandez gives up a couple earned runs this inning, and it's now 9-5. It was a tough assignment for Franklin Hernandez coming in, facing, well, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, basically. But Darius Barless as well gets into the action. He cashes in a 2 RBI single. And we have a ball game once again, as the Maple Leafs lead is cut to just 4. Pitch is way inside. Barless is going to head down to second base. That's the second wild pitch of the inning for Franklin Hernandez. Just on the note of the run differential for the Brantford Red Sox as well. And, you know, this is an organization that's really been struggling over the last couple of years in Brantford. So I don't want to harp on it too much, but the run differential is negative 167 for that Red Sox team this year. Maple Leafs are plus 26 in 4th place in the Intercounty Baseball League. Ball ripped to the backstop by Kyle Cush. Darius Barless is at second base. He had a 2 RBI single in this inning and then got to second on the wild pitch. Franklin Hernandez with a 1-2 count as the fans try and help him out here at Christie Pitts, and the pitch is up and in, 2-2. The Hamilton Cardinals as well on this 11-game losing streak traded away Justin Gideon to the Welland Jackfish, and he was a huge part of their offense in that leadoff spot. Here's a ground ball. This one's to Jose Vinicio, a tough hop, but he throws on to first, and the inning is over. But the Guelph Royals do get a couple of runs back. It's now 9-3. Toronto Maple Leafs leading over the Guelph Royals after that Darius Barless 2 RBI signal. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up, trying to answer the Guelph Royals. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD. New pitcher into the game for the Guelph Royals is Evan Kaiser. And he delivers a first pitch over the outside corner to Greg Carrington. Counts now 0-2 on Carrington. This one's popped up by Carrington over towards the Guelph Royals dugout. Is there enough room? Oh, yes, there is. What a catch by Keys as he almost went right into his own dugout to make that catch. So Evan Kaiser coming out of the University of Guelph, and I had the pleasure of calling a couple of his games, playing U Sports for Guelph. And Evan Kaiser, I can remember, I came from Ryerson, now Toronto Metropolitan University, and they had a big playoff game. I believe it was back in the 2019 season, and Evan Kaiser at the time was pretty much an MLB prospect. Threw over 93 miles per hour, and he was a guy in that Ryerson Rams dugout that was a big intimidation factor for the Guelph Royals. As this ball is fouled off left side. Now, the Guelph Royals made a decision that playoff game. In playoffs, if you played Little League or anything like that, U Sports is pretty much the same, where you have 3 games in 3 days or sometimes 3 games in 2 days, and you have to manage when you are going to throw those pitchers. Now, this pitched over the outside corner, and Kaiser, being one of the best guys for the Guelph Royals in U Sports, he was going up against the Ryerson Rams, and although it was an elimination game, the Guelph Royals elected not to use Evan Kaiser. So here's a ball hit on the ground, a tough play, throw to first, not in time. Kyle Cush bobbled it for just a moment, and the speedy Jose Vinicio is on first base with serious stolen base potential. So the Guelph Royals elected not to use Evan Kaiser in that ball game against the Ryerson Rams, and they came out with a heroic performance against the secondary pitcher for the Guelph Royals. Evan Kaiser ended up coming into the ball game after, or not the Guelph Royals, the Guelph Griffins were down in that ball game, but it was too little too late, and the Ryerson Rams ended up eliminating the Guelph Royals in a massive upset performance. Here's a stolen base attempt by Jose Vinicio. He's in there in plenty of time. He got a great jump against Evan Kaiser. So with that being said, that is no fault of Evan Kaiser, but more a compliment of how important he was to the University of Guelph and that team, and he has some velocity as well coming to that bullpen for the Guelph Royals. There goes Jose Vinicio. He got a great jump again, and he's in there easily at third base. Man, Jose Vinicio has speed that can take over a ball game. He had Evan Kaiser timed up easily, and now that single, or that, the single, might have been an error. I'm not sure what they called it. Turns into basically a triple, and now he's dancing down the third baseline and threatening to score the 10th run of the ball game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2-0 to the number 2 batter. It's Justin Mara. The infield is in for the Guelph Royals, knowing the importance of limiting the damage right now. There's a breaking ball outside corner, strike 1. 3-1 now. So Evan Kaiser has pitched just 1 inning for the Guelph Royals this season. Here's the ball fouled off and straight back by Justin Mara. He was way out in front of it. 3-2. This is an important scenario for Justin Mara to try and cash in that run, get some insurance for the Toronto Maple Leafs, although John Solazzo did a fantastic job of cashing in runs with 2 outs in his last at-bat, and he's on deck. This one's hit in the air to center field by Justin Mara. High and deep and gone over the center field wall. A 2-run home run for Justin Mara. Both him and John Solazzo both have a pair of home runs this ball game. And now Justin Mara has the outright lead of third place in the IBL home run race. 11-5, Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, boy, is Justin Mara ever good. And he loves the heat. Got a fastball from Evan Kaiser. Took it to center field. Those are the first 2 runs that Kaiser has given up this year. Here's John Solazzo. John Solazzo already has 2 home runs in this ball game. Give him 5 RBIs. Solazzo hammers one. This one's out to left field, and it gets down and goes all the way to the wall. This will be a double for John Solazzo as he's steaming around first base and pulls up with a stand-up double, his 3rd hit. He has 2 home runs and a double. John Solazzo, have a night. And he might be well on his way to the Pennies Player of the Game. But that's not for us to decide up here in the broadcast booth. Maybe I'll get a text in the next couple of minutes with the Pennies Player of the Game. I think I might know a guy who might be watching. My vote would be for John Solazzo, though, if I get a vote. Ryan. Inside corner. Strike 1. (11-5), Toronto Maple Leafs. They open the lead right back up. John Solazzo just had a double. He's standing out there at second base. Aiden McCaskey playing first base. Kaiser's pitch, low and in the dirt. 1-1 now on Aiden McCaskey. All right, so sources confirm that John Solazzo is currently the leading candidate for Pennies Player of the Game. Barring any kind of, I guess, outrageous scenario that could happen in the bottom of the 8th or the 9th. This one's popped in the air by Aiden McCaskey. Cush gives way to the shortstop, LaRue, who makes the catch, 2 away. Connor Lewis comes to the plate. There's an RBI out there at second base, but the Toronto Maple Leafs have got themselves a pretty hefty amount of insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. No action in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen, which suggests that Franklin Hernandez will come out for a 2nd inning of work and a 3rd inning in 2 days and try and finish this 11-5 ball game out. The pitch to Lewis in the dirt. Righty v righty, the hard-throwing Evan Kaiser. Here's the pitch. Connor Lewis hits one in the air. This one's to center field, not particularly deep. Coming over, and that one's going to fall in front of the center fielder. Connor Lewis speeds to second base, so when he caught him napping, it's an RBI for Connor Lewis, you'd have to imagine, and I think it's going to be a double for Lewis as well. So that will be his 2nd double of the ball game. And it's 12-5 Toronto Maple Leafs, and Connor Lewis just turned on the Jets right off the crack of the bat, even though it was a lazy little pop to center field. Heads up base running. Pitches inside to Dan Mara. This game for the Toronto Maple Leafs up until this 8th inning has felt like it has just been ticking along here at Christie Pitts. Ground ball. This one's going to be up the middle for Dan Mara. Lewis steaming around third base. He will score easily, and the Maple Leafs go out in front 13-5. Maybe we can throw in a request to Stats Guy Rain to see how long this game has been going on for. Or the duration of the stream might be a good place to look as well. 2 hours, 16 minutes so far. So about 2-hour ball game here at Christie Pitts. But the Guelph Royals do need to get out of this bottom of the 8th inning still. It's looking more and more likely that the 5-game win streak of the Guelph Royals will be over. but they're still hanging around in that first place conversation here in the Intercounty Baseball League. There's some action in the Royals bullpen. Should Evan Kaiser not be able to get out of this inning? Reed is warming up in the bullpen for the Guelph Royals. Tamane takes strike one. Pitch inside, 1-1. Grant Tamani is 2 for 4 this afternoon with a couple of singles. Dan Mara had an RBI single of his own. He's at first base. Cash in Connor Lewis, who's 3 for 5 with 2 doubles. And for Mara, that was the second RBI of the ball game as well. Man, he has been good of late. Multiple hits and now 4 straight ball games for Dan Mara. Mackenzie Kruger, who does a lot of our social media content, did an interview with Dan Mara. You can catch that on Leafs Weekly, coming up on Monday. So that pitch is over the inside corner, strike one now, or strike two, full count on the left fielder for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Mackenzie jokingly asked Dan Mara who was the best hitter, him or his brother Justin. And Dan said him, and he's been proving it of late. There goes Mara. The ball hits Grant Tamani, but it didn't matter. It was ball 4 anyway. So now there's 2 on with 2 outs for the Maple Leafs, and it brings up Luca Boscarino. And Dan didn't even really hesitate in that interview as well. He knew the answer. And it's funny that after saying that, he has been on an absolute tear with the bat, but so has his brother Justin, who has 2 home runs in this ball game as well. The pitch to Boscarino in there, strike one. Luca Boscarino is currently the only Toronto Maple Leaf in the lineup that doesn't have a hit in this ball game. Boscarino flares one to the left side. This one's going to get out of play and foul. But he's walked and reached on an error and scored twice, has Luca Boscarino. John Solazzo, 3 for 5. Connor Lewis, 3 for 5. 2 notable offensive performances from the Maple Leafs. And Connor Lewis had 3 hits last game as well. So now 6 hits in his last 2 games. Boscarino's putting up a battle here, but in a hole, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Kaiser. Boscarino hammers one. This one's out to left field, and now every Toronto Maple Leaf has a hit in the lineup tonight. Bobbled out there by Josh Garton, but the Leafs weren't sending the runner anyway, as Dan Mara holds his ground at third base, and the bases are loaded for Greg Carrington. Pitch is high, ball 1 to Greg Carrington. Carrington takes high once again, and then now Evan Kaiser has fallen behind the number 9 hitter for the Maple Leafs. Jose Vinicio was on deck, and there's nowhere to put Carrington. Here's the 2-0. It's low and in the dirt, goes to the backstop, but Dan Mara will hold his ground. over there at third base. Evan Kaiser has now given up 4 runs in the 2/3 of an inning that he's pitched. Just on the outside corner, 3-1. High ball 4. Kaiser walks in a run. And the Maple Leafs now lead 14-5. Back to the top of the order, it's Jose Vinicio. Vinicio is 1 for 4 with a couple of runs scored and 2 stolen bases in this inning as well. Jose Vinicio reached on, I believe it was an error. Yeah, it was an error in his last at bat for the second baseman. Now he grounds one. That one's going to get through the hole. 1 run will come in to score, station to station for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who now lead 15-5. Tack on another RBI this game for Jose Vinicio. Now his 19th RBI this season. And here's a visit to the mound, and this could be the end of the afternoon for Evan Kaiser. Well, there's a conversation. Reed was the pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Guelph Royals, and yeah, I think this is the end of the night for Kaiser as Reed comes into the ball game, and we'll confirm that in just a few minutes. The Toronto Maple Leafs leading 15-5. They've opened things up in this 8th inning. 6 runs in the 8th to answer the 2 that the Guelph Royals scored just half an inning before that. We'll be back on Toronto Maple Leafs TV, presented by TD Canada Trust. New pitcher into the ball game for the Guelph Royals is Ben Reed. The Woodbine Racetrack call to the bullpen. Ben Reed just needs to get an out here. And this bottom of the 8th inning comes into this ball game with a 14.78 ERA, but in fairness, a lot of those earned runs came in a 1-inning performance against the Guelph Royals. That was part of a 20-2 loss. Against the Welland Jackfish, I should say. And Reed, the pitcher for the Guelph Royals. That was part of a 20-2 loss against the Welland Jackfish for the Guelph Royals, where he gave up 10 runs, all of them earned in 1 inning. 10 runs on 7 hits, walked 3. is a 1-2 count now on Justin Mara, who's already homered in this inning. Mara hits one on the ground, and a sliding try by Interesano. It's going to end up in the outfield. Probably will go as a hit. We'll see. And it looked like that was the ground ball that was going to get the Guelph Royals out of this inning, but instead it's 16-5 in the 7th run of the 8th inning. And it brings up John Solazzo, who doubled in this inning. And it was in the 8th inning we thought John Solazzo wasn't going to have a chance to try and hit the hat trick of home runs that he probably has in the back of his mind. But he gets another chance this inning. And let's see. Pitches inside, or over the inside corner now for strike one. I don't see any scenario where John Solazzo doesn't swing for the fences. He already has 5 RBIs, and he already has a grand slam in this game. Another one inside corner, strike 2. Solazzo likes it on the inside corner, but those ones were perfectly placed to start off this at-bat to John Solazzo. Now the Guelph Royals 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Solazzo grounds one foul first base side. He had a big cut. Solazzo's got his batting average up to .329 and hit his 4th and 5th home runs this season in this game. And now make it 29 RBIs. He's now in the top 10 in IBL RBIs in this 2022 season. Here's the ball hit in the air, but foul. Solazzo got good wood on it, but was way out in front. Still 0-2. Ben Reed trying to get out of the inning. 0-2 pitch. Solazzo fists one in the air. This one's down the third base line, but hooks foul. I think it might be a good idea for Ben Reed to try and bury something on the dirt or try and go way up and out of the strike zone. John Solazzo is ready to tee off on one, as he's done twice already this ball game. Low and in the dirt he does, but Solazzo lays off. Maple Leafs scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the 6th, and 7 in the 8th, and now leads 16-5. Inside once again. Solazzo wouldn't chase. It's 2-2. 16 runs on 6 hits for the Maple Leafs in this ball game. 4 errors on the side of the Guelph Royals have helped them out as well. Here's one hit in the air. John Solazzo. Oh, and it's going to hang up. It looked like he had good wood on it, but John Solazzo ends up having a relatively shallow fly ball. I was pretty excited about that one, though, but it was off the end of the bat. The Toronto Maple Leafs get 7 in the inning, lead 16-5 over the Guelph Royals. We head to the top of the 9th, and I believe it's Franklin Hernandez coming back out to try and close things out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball, presented by TD Canada Trust. So it will be Chris Nagorski who comes out to close this thing down for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's got a 11-run cushion to work with here in the top of the ninth. Nagorski comes into this game with a .657 ERA, was off to a rough start with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but he has settled things down in his last couple of outings. He faces Brendan Keys to start things out as the pitch is in the dirt, 1-1. Keys grounds a ball to the shortstop Vinicio, and it takes a wild hop and gets over his head. Not much that Jose Vinicio could do. He was doing the right thing to come in and charge that baseball, but it took a wicked hop, and the leadoff batter is on for the Guelph Royals. So that will be scored a single. That would be a pretty tough error on Jose Vinicio, even though it looked like a tailor-made ground ball, but took a Christy Pitts bounce. 1 on, nobody out. Nagorski delivers strike 1. Nagorski has had 3 consecutive scoreless outings. Here's a little chopper. That one's going to flare into the outfield, and now the first 2 have reached on not particularly hard contact, but the Guelph Royals are not going away quietly here in the top of the 9th inning. Hamilton, London, Hamilton are the last 3 games for Nagorski. He's given up just 4 hits in those 3 innings. And a couple of those games he was credited with the save as well. The 4-1 win against Hamilton and the 7-4 win against Hamilton. Over the outside corner, strike 1. Malik Collymore, the right fielder, is the batter. Has more opportunity to try and pad those RBI stats up there on the IBL leaderboard. And this one's going to float into the outfield. The runner is going to hold at third base, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out. And the Guelph Royals are just chopping balls in the outfield, trying to keep the line moving, but still trailing by 11 runs here to the Maple Leafs. But they have bases loaded and nobody out. Well, that streak of 3 consecutive scoreless outings for Chris Nagorski is in serious jeopardy now. Ethan Hammond is the batter. Hammond takes inside, ball 1. Over the outside corner, 1-1 from Chris Nagorski. 9 strikeouts and 14 2/3 inning pitch for Nagorski. There's a guy that would love that first-round matchup against his former team in the Barrie Baycats if that were to happen. But with a win tonight, or this afternoon, the Guelph Royals are in a little bit of jeopardy of being overtaken by the Toronto Maple Leafs, although they're going through a bit of a rough stretch in their schedule with the 3 games in 3 days. But if the Maple Leafs are able to pull off this win this afternoon, pitch fouled straight back by Ethan Hammond, then they would be within 2 games of 3rd place in the Inter-County Baseball League. And that would give them the Kitchener Panthers as their first-round matchup should the standings stay the same in the bottom 3. And I think that's a much more favorable matchup than the Barrie Baycats. Here's a ball hit in the air, and that one is crushed by Ethan Hammond. Hammond finds the Little League ball diamond out there in left field. That's a grand slam. And he has cut the lead now to just 7. Second home run of the season for Ethan Hammond. Well, as mentioned, the Guelph Royals are not going away quietly. They still don't have anybody out here in the top of the 9th inning. And Chris Nagorski probably sees this as a bit of a reset after the first 3 batters got on relatively soft contact. So Brian Sewell comes in. He'll bat for Sean Riley. That's a little bit of relief for Chris Nagorski, not having to face the legendary IBLer. Righty v. righty, the matchup. Here's one hit on the ground by Sewell. This is an easy ground ball. Throw on to first by Dan Mara, one away. Josh Garton, who has an opposite field home run this game, comes up. Garton and then Interesano is on deck. Just inside, ball one. Outside corner now, 1-1. Josh Garton hits one on the ground, and this is another easy ground ball for Dan Mara. Whips a throw on to first base, 2 away. So the Guelph Royals have put up 4 with that grand slam by Ethan Hammond, but now we're down to their final out. Justin Interesano is at the plate. Inside corner, strike 1 for Nagorski. Interesano laces one down the left field line. That one is fair and goes up against the wall. Interesano is going to hold to a long single, but got a good wood on that baseball and put it just inside the foul line down the left field side. So the Pennies player of the game today, we have to assume, is going to John Solazzo. The official decision on that will be made on Twitter later on. But what an afternoon for John Solazzo. 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs and a couple of home runs for John Solazzo. And I thought he had home run number 3 in his last at bat, but I was very, very wrong, as that ended up being a shallow fly ball. But either way, the grand slam, a big part of those 5 RBIs tonight for Interesano. And we have a delay here, and it's because there's a pinch runner coming in at first base for Interesano. Here's the ball hit in the air. This one to left field. Coming in and making a nice catch is Greg Carrington to end the ball game. And the Toronto Maple Leafs win by a score of 16-9. A lot of those runs coming in a 7-run 8th inning, which actually ended up being pretty important, as they did win by a score, or by 7 runs. So the Maple Leafs end. The win streak of 5 games for the Guelph Royals is over. And with this win, the Maple Leafs move to within 2 games of the Guelph Royals and now are just 4 games back of first place in the Inter-County Baseball League. For Thomas West here, you've been watching Toronto Maple Leafs TV, presented by TD Canada Trust. Maple Leafs win 16-9 over the Guelph Royals.